Many years ago, I used to work for a budget CD company, and they often would release CDs that looked a little bit like this, with a slipcase on the outside of the jewel case, like that. And I never particularly liked this idea. I thought it was a bit of a gimmick, because the front cover of the slipcase was basically the same as the front cover of the booklet, and the same with the back. They look exactly the same. So what happened over time was the slipcase gets all scuffed up and dirty, while the jewel case remains pretty clean. But to me, I'd rather have it the other way around. I'd rather have the artwork clean, and I'm not too worried about a few scuffs on the jewel case. Another thing that was a problem with these was it's quite difficult to put them in cases because of the extra bulk. However, in Japan in 1999 they brought out a couple of Elvis CDs which were also in slipcases, but they were a much better design than the one I just showed you. And this is the first one that came out. This is a compilation called Ballads. And you can see there's no obi on that, but it does have a Japanese hype sticker here. And on the back you can see the track listing there. I'll put a picture up so you can get a good look at that. And you can also see it has another sticker here on the back, and this gives you the same information in Japanese. So the hype sticker is actually on the plastic cover. So if you take that out, we're just left with this red slipcase, and if we pull that away like that, you can see the box itself and the back cover, and there are no track listings anywhere on the rear artwork. Typical Japanese booklet. It just contains the usual lyrics in English and Japanese, and Japanese liner notes. There are some unusual songs on this particular one. For example, Suppose and Sylvia, and a few other unusual tracks that you don't really get on Elvis compilations very much. And the slipcase is actually, it does have a stopper here, so it doesn't fall out from one side or the other. So that came out in November 1999, and at the same time, on the same day in fact, they released a second one called Rock and Roll. And as you can see, this one has a sort of a light brown slipcase. And there are the tracks again. So the idea is the same. You've got this star-shaped hype sticker, Japanese information on the back as well. There you go, that's what it looks like out of the plastic bag, and the tracks are all on the slipcase. And if I pull that out, there is the CD. Both very famous pictures on the front and back. Then a year later, in 2000, November 2000, they brought out another collection, this time in a blue case, and this one is called Ballads 2. And you might notice just behind me here the poster that came out to promote that this particular CD. And it's a fairly similar idea again. You've got the star-shaped hype sticker on the front and the Japanese track listings in black here. It does give you a bit more information on this one. It points out that some of the tracks are live. Okay, so I've Lost You is live. For the Good Times, Words and My Way are all live versions. Now for some reason they put this in shrink wrap, not a plastic case, which is a bit of a problem because the slipcase is actually quite a bit bigger than the jewel case. So if I shake it about like that, you can see there's a big difference between the size of the jewel case and the slipcase. So it's quite difficult to put this one into a plastic case. So again, take it out and you get the black and white picture on the front and on the back. All the discs, by the way, have just one colour, and it's the same colour as the slipcase basically. And the booklet. These booklets are always good in Japanese. You don't get many photographs particularly, but you get all the information that you need, lyrics and Japanese liner notes. So that one came out at the end of 2000. And then five or 6 months later, May of 2001, they brought out a fourth one in the series. This was Rhythm and Blues. This is slightly different. The hype stick is just a simple circle, not a star design. And on the back, again, you have all the tracks in Japanese. And again, it points out the live versions. So there are the tracks. Again, I'll try to put a picture up so you can see what they are. Interestingly, the version of What Did I Say on this track is actually live from 1969. So again, this hype sticker, or the hype stickers, are actually on the plastic case, not on the slipcase. Alright, so there's the slipcase. Again, it's stopped off here at the end, so the CD doesn't fall out. A couple of very good pictures here, and the disc, as you can see, is similar colour to the slipcase. So that was May 2001, and there's one more to come, and that also came out in May 2001, and this is Country Rock. The hype sticker you can see here at the back, it wasn't always here, just whoever owned it before me peeled off the hype sticker and got rid of the plastic cover for some reason. So the Japanese track listing sticker is missing from this copy. So they've actually stuck the hype sticker on the slipcase itself, but it wasn't always there. So this is the last one in the series, Country Rock. Now, there's a curious thing about this CD in that some of the tracks, in fact 4 of the tracks, also appeared on the Rock and Roll CD in the same series. First one is Hound Dog. No, I'm sorry, there are three songs on this CD which appeared on the Rock and Roll album. The first one is Trouble, another one is The Fool, and another one is Faded Love. So those 3 tracks all appeared on both CDs. And there are actually two versions of Hound Dog. On the Rhythm and Blues CD, this one also has Hound Dog, and the Rock and Roll CD has Hound Dog too. However, this one is a live version of Hound Dog. But in the case of these 3 tracks here, Trouble, The Fool and Faded Love, they're actually the same versions as the ones that appear on Rock and Roll. So there's the picture on the front. This is, of course, similar to the one they used on the RCA Masters box set, and great live shot on the back there. And you can probably guess the CD is orange, and there's the booklet, the usual 20-odd page booklet. So there you go, a colourful set of CDs from Japan, and that set of CDs was all released, or re-released, in the standard Japanese CD packaging with an OB on the outside, but without the slipcase. The rarest ones are these 2, Rhythm and Blues and Country Rock. These are fairly hard to find actually, and the easiest ones to find, not surprisingly, are the Ballads CD and the other one from that period, Rock and Roll. So those are the easiest ones to find, and the other one, Ballads 2, this is kind of in the middle. Not too difficult to find, but not that easy to find as well. Alright, so that's it. Just a short video this week. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back next week. Thanks a lot. Take care.